So in this video, I'm going to go over how to crate train your dog with a few very simple and effective steps to follow that I believe will help you have success. So the first thing is just getting the right crate. And I would suggest getting a high quality dog crate that is the appropriate size for your dog. Your dog should be able to stand up, turn around, and lay down. If they can do those things, it should be sufficient. I'd like to mention the crate that I'm using in this video is one I would highly recommend that's made by the company Impact Crates. Check them out. I believe the most important part of crate training a dog is just to be able to take your time and to work at the dog's pace as much as possible. So I would not start this process until you have enough time to devote to this training. Okay, the first thing I'm doing with this dog in the video is just using some high value food rewards to get the dog to be rewarded in front of the crate while I slowly work the dog inside the crate. As the dog gets more comfortable going inside, I start to throw more high value food rewards to the back of the crate, slowly keeping the dog inside a little bit longer each time. It's really important at this stage of training that you do not shut the door too soon. If you close the door too soon, the dog might become way more hesitant to even going inside. So I would do this process with the door open many times a day, even for a few days if possible. So if your dog is getting more comfortable going in the crate with this process, I would start to feed them all of their meals inside the crate each day. Doing that could really help the dog acclimate to the crate a lot sooner, just knowing that positive things happen inside the crate each day, and that's where they get their meals from. So then it comes to closing the door, and I would follow a similar process of closing the door a few seconds at a time and letting the dog out and extending how long you do this with each training session. Now, when it comes to leaving the dog inside the crate for longer periods of time, I would highly suggest that you make sure the dog has had proper exercise before doing that, especially if they are a young, energetic dog. You want to make sure that you are setting them up for success to be as comfortable as they possibly can, being left in the crate for longer periods of time. Another thing that I have found very helpful with some dogs that have more hesitation or even panic inside the crate is to give them some type of natural calming supplement. This can help them be more comfortable with being inside the crate with the door shut and actually help them have a more positive association to being inside the crate. So when you're starting to leave the dog in for longer periods of time, I would start to help them acclimate to a little more separation from you being in the same room even. So maybe when you're doing some chores around the house or some yard work or taking a shower, I would start to put them in the crate while you are still at home for short periods of time. You never want the crate to represent the dog goes in the crate and you leave for hours. You want to slowly acclimate them to being in the crate and also being alone for short periods of time. Another important rule to follow, in my opinion, is if the dog is barking, whining, or scratching on the crate, that you do not let them out when they're doing that. If you do, it might cause a problem of them being trained to think, when I do these things, they let me out of the crate. So even if you wait for them to stop for a few seconds at a time, I would make sure you only let the dog out when they are nice and calm and quiet. So in my opinion, these are pretty much the rules you need to learn to crate train your dog. You might have to adjust things a little bit. If it's a puppy, you have to make sure you know how long they can hold their bladder and things like that. It's going to be a lot harder with a puppy a lot of times. But you just have to make sure that you're having patience and working at the dog's pace, and most importantly, not giving up on this training. For a dog to be really acclimated to it, it could take a month or so. So just remember that training sometimes goes up and down, but if you're following the steps and you're keeping this as positive as you possibly can, I would believe you will have a lot of success. So I hope this video has been helpful for you to crate train your dog, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I would be happy to help. Thank you.